I'm pretty sure talking about a priest like this at all is an instant ticket to hell, but we're gonna do it anyway. What's going on, everybody? My name's Landon, and today I'm going to be talking about something that honestly I wasn't even sure if I was going to make a video on because I'm really not the best person to talk to about these ghost shows that are on TV. I don't watch most of them. Some of them I do. It's guilty pleasure, but a lot of them I just tend to stay away from and just don't even watch because there's things in there that bother me, which I'm sure is the case for a lot of different people. But I decided to try out the new Ghost Nation show, which I think they already have finished a season now at this point or whatever. I'm way behind the ball on it. But I decided to check out one episode just to see what has changed from the old Ghost Hunters days, right? And especially without having Grant in the show. Needless to say, I was pretty disappointed. The first episode I decided to watch was the second episode of the first season. And I had a huge issue with it. And it's something that I think a lot of people hear, especially if you're into the paranormal stuff, which most of you are, you can learn a lot from. And I just want to bring it up because it's something also that I'm going to be talking about later in the year with my buddy Aaron Shriver up in Ohio. And I'll give you guys details about that towards the end of the video. In this episode, the Ghost Nation guys decide to go up to Hell, Michigan, which first off is really cool that there's a place called Hell in Michigan.
How the hell are you today?
I think they said it's like 20 miles outside of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Pretty neat little place. Only like 70 people live there. It's a very small town. But they meet up with a guy named Mike Priest. Now, throughout the episode, we find out that Mike has been investigating the paranormal for like 10 years. And he's been working on this one case for around 8 years.
We're here to meet up with paranormal investigator Mike Priest. That's right, we're meeting a priest in hell. Mike's been an investigator in the Ghost Nation for over 10 years, and he's brought us a piece of evidence that's gone viral, making international headlines.
Anybody that's investigating any type of case for 8 years long should have every detail down to the minuscule detail figured out about that case. But this is a very classic example of somebody who hears a story from a client. Because trust me, I get it. We get calls from people all over Georgia and surrounding states with some ridiculous and wild claims. But this is a classic example of the guy just taking whatever story that these people who live in the home tell him and running with it, rather than actually fact-checking or doing any type of research to figure out what the true story is.
Hey, Mike.
Good to see you, buddy.
So what's going on? We have had a relationship with the Higgins family for going on, 7, 8 years. The story we've heard from them was that the former homeowner slipped, fell, and broke her hip. Apparently, she laid on the floor for quite some time before eventually passing away in the house.
Okay.
We've investigated this house a handful of times, caught some interesting evidence while we were out there. Recently, the son and daughter-in-law moved into a guest house. They caught the video of something moving across the room from right to left on the screen.
When you say something, do you mean?
Something that we couldn't quite make out. So this is the actual video footage that they captured with their nanny cam.
Whoa, look at that.
That visual is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Can you play it again?
Yeah. And you can see something that kind of walks across the screen and it just disappears.
Child seems to see person at one point, then is looking all around, almost as if trying to figure out where it went after that.
Not to mention, he goes on national television to do this. So, the whole thing is, this Mike guy goes and tells them this elaborate story about how this woman fell in this house and broke her hip and ended up dying at the bottom of these stairs or whatnot. And they captured this pretty cool piece of evidence of this figure that's walking across this baby cam. And I'll play it here so you guys can see it. Now, don't get me wrong. The clip's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. But you got to start at the very beginning, the basics. Is the story about the woman that lived there true at all? If so, there's going to be death certificates, there's going to be an obituary, there's going to be all of these things to where you can look into it and figure out if the story is even correct at all. What you're being told is truthful. This guy, over the course of 8 years, this is what drives me nuts about it, is he spent so long on this case, didn't look into any of this stuff. And there's a lot of people out there like that. They just take the story and run. It's a great, story that's going to grab a bunch of people's attention. Hey, this woman died in this house or whatnot, and they're just going to run with it. But it's not the way to do things. We've got to be better. There's so many things that you guys can do that you can look into as far as research to be able to gain actual accurate information to give to your clients, especially if you're going to go out there and deal with these personal residential cases. You need to be at the top of your game. And it's clear that this guy and his team are not. And I'm sorry if this gets to that dude. I'm sure it will. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick to you or anything, but it's the honest truth. You guys need to learn how to research before you go into somebody's home trying to tell them what's going on. And it's the case for a lot of different people. It's not an attack towards him and his team or anything like that.
I'm looking through documents to see what I can find out about former homeowner Dorothy and her family.
An immediate underlying or contributing cause of death. Oh.
Here's Dave. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, Jay. How's it going, guys? Just going through evidence.
Found some interesting information about our Dorothy. I went through the death records to the last name, to the living relatives, and there is a living relative.
It's Dorothy's great niece.
Her name's Lauren, and I have her address,
and I could text that over to you guys.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Now, in the death records, did it say how Dorothy passed away?
Yes, it did.
Is there complications of the heart?
She had heart failure for 3 years. Dorothy didn't die of an accident on the steps after all. She had a heart disease.
Anybody else in the family? Dorothy's brother, Robert.
But it doesn't specify where he died. Robert.
That's a new brother we didn't know about. All right, so text us the address, Steve, and I'll go.
See what we can find out, man.
All right, thanks. Good luck.
Later, bro.
Tangle's info is turning everything upside down. We thought Dorothy died stranded at the bottom of the stairs. But now, Tangle's saying heart failure. And then, there's her brother Robert we've never even heard of. But we need to uncover the real story of Dorothy and her brother Tim. Hopefully Lauren, her relative, can provide some much-needed answers.
We've been talking with Chris and Jim Higgins, who own the house now. Anything you can tell us about the property, or maybe before they lived there?
Actually, my dad's grandpa, he built it, so it was only my family that lived there up until the people who live there now.
So the Higgins family are the first family to own it outside of your family?
Yes.
What can you tell us about your great-aunt Dorothy who lived in the house?
She passed away when I think I was around like 7 or 8.
Because we had heard stories that she had fallen off the stairway there, broken her hip, and laid there for hours and passed away.
No. She passed away in her bed in her bedroom.
Oh, wow.
How old was she, approximately?
She was in her 70s.
Okay, in her 70s.
And where was her room? Was her room on the first floor?
There was the kitchen.
Yep.
And then you walk down the hall, and then her room was on the left.
So Dorothy died in her bed, which was right next to the hallway where Chris says she's seen a mistyped figure hundreds of times.
She was a school bus driver. She was really ornery. She didn't actually like kids.
I think most bus drivers don't like kids.
Yeah. She was really into her house and how things were kept.
Okay, so she didn't like people changing anything around in the house, or?
No.
Now, we also heard her brother, Tim?
No, that was her son.
Okay, all right, we had heard it was her brother. We had heard that Tim had fallen from the guest house window and died there outside.
That's not how he passed. He had diabetes. So he passed away from diabetes.
Did he pass away at the home?
No, he didn't pass away at the home. He passed away at the U of M hospital.
Okay. So then all the rumors of him falling out a window and dying are not true.
No.
Now, Lauren, is there anything you could tell us about Robert?
That was Aunt Dorothy's brother. They got along really well. He was a really nice guy. He was super sweet.
So, he was Dorothy's brother, and Tim was her son.
Yeah.
All right, so it's all starting to come together now. Well, if we have any more questions, hopefully you're okay if we come back and ask.
Yeah, of course.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
We now have new, accurate information about Dorothy, her son Tim, and brother Robert.
What's funny about this case is the fact that it only took the Ghost Nation guys a couple days, maybe a day or two. I'm sure they only filmed these in about 3 days to find an actual living relative of this lady who basically tells the whole story of what happened. Tells them that, nope, this was wrong. Nope, that part was wrong. Nope, not true. All of that stuff that they were told from Mike was just completely inaccurate. And it's quite embarrassing that he had to go on national television to get basically humiliated in front of everybody because he couldn't do simple research. So I just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention. Hopefully, you saw some of these clips in this video where you're like, maybe I don't want to end up in that position. Now, there's a lot of different things that you can do as far as research goes to where you can avoid situations like this. One thing I did want to bring up is that I'm going to be speaking at the Grave City Haunted Relic Expo with my buddy Aaron Shriver in Moundsville, West Virginia on July 18th. So if you guys are in the area, we're actually doing an entire speaking event on the importance of research in the paranormal and different methods that you guys can use to really step up your research game out there. Now, along with that, I'm going to be releasing a few different videos diving into some of my methods and how we attack research when we take on a case, which I think is going to be very helpful to everybody. So if you can't make that event, which I highly encourage you, if you are in the area or within a few hours or whatnot, I'm driving like 10 hours to be there. If you guys are within driving distance, you should totally come out and check it out. It's going to be an awesome event, and you're going to get a lot of really cool information out of it. But if you can't, just hang out. As that event gets closer, I'm going to be releasing a whole series on research and things that you can do. A lot of it is free information that you can gather. Some of it you may have to, fork up a little bit of money if the case requires that. But nonetheless, if you just pay attention to some of these tips and tricks that we're going to give you, it's going to step up your research game tenfold. And you will not end up like this guy on TV, looking like an idiot in front of everybody. So, with that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. I am going to be working on trying to get a video out every single week versus every 2 weeks like I have been here recently. It's been awesome seeing the support from you guys. This channel's just grown way faster than I expected it to. I've had some family in town for the last few months that live very far away, and so I've been spending a lot of time with them and not really focusing on different things and having a lot of time that I used to have. But they are leaving this weekend to head all the way across the country, so it's going to free up a lot of time for me. So I am going to get into weekly uploads. My idea is I have 4 or 5 different little mini-series. I got 5 different series of videos that I'm going to be putting out. So if you guys like certain ones, you can watch those. If you don't like the other ones, skip them, whatever. I don't really care. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, if this was, interesting to you at all. Maybe some people didn't even catch this, but again, this is the only episode of the entire series of Ghost Nation that I even watched. And after watching this one, it just, just brings back to the reason why I don't want to watch shows anymore, because this stuff just annoys me. But hopefully you guys learned something from this. Remember, July 18th, Grave City Haunted Relic Expo. I'll be there with my buddy Aaron Shriver. It's going to be an awesome time. If you guys can, come check it out. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Boom!